This is you, alive, comfortable, probably scrolling YouTube while eating chips and ignoring your emails. You think life is hard now? Wi-Fi dropping? Cold coffee? A bad meeting? Please, let me take you back to times when being born was practically a death sentence. Your ancestors? They dodged mammoths, plagues, starvation, volcanoes, and Mongol arrows, just so you could complain about your phone battery dying. So today, we're counting down the top 5 times in human history when being born meant one thing. Good luck surviving past age 5, and trust me, you wouldn't. 74,000 years ago, the Toba supervolcano exploded in what scientists think might be the most violent eruption ever. It blasted so much ash into the atmosphere that sunlight disappeared for years. Plants died, animals starved, ecosystems collapsed. Imagine walking outside and seeing nothing but darkness, breathing in air thick with sulfur, and realizing there's no food, no clean water, and no firewood left. Global temperatures plummeted by nearly 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Humanity was pushed to the brink, with estimates suggesting as few as 3,000 people survived. That's like packing all of humanity into a small town, with no food. So yeah, your oat milk might have turned to ash, and you probably would have frozen, starved, or inhaled enough volcanic dust to become gravel. Toba didn't just shake the earth, it almost erased us. Fast forward to 20,000 years ago, the Ice Age, the last glacial maximum. The Earth was locked in a deep freeze. Giant glaciers blanketed most of North America, Europe, and Asia. You're not sitting by the fireplace. You're curled up in a cave with 40 distant relatives trying to start a fire by rubbing rocks together. Your clothing? Animal hides crudely stitched together. Your bed? Frozen dirt? Dinner? Maybe mammoth, if your tribe can stab one without getting flattened. And let's not forget the saber-toothed cats, cave bears, and dire wolves roaming outside. Infection from a scraped knee could kill you. So could frostbite, hunger, or slipping into an icy river. And you think losing your Wi-Fi signal is a bad day? Back then, a bad day meant being lunch. Literally. The Ice Age wasn't just cold, it was cruel. 10,000 years ago, someone said, "What if we stop running after food and make it come to us?" Great idea, right? Wrong. Farming turned out to be a disaster, at least for early humans. Instead of roaming free, you were now stuck to a plot of land. Day after day, bending, planting, weeding, praying it wouldn't flood or dry up. One bad harvest and your whole village could starve. Your diet? Basically carbs, bread, barley, lentils. Goodbye protein. Hello, scurvy and tooth rot. Skeletons from this era show stunted growth, signs of malnutrition, and horrifying dental problems. And the fun part? Living in tight communities meant viruses could spread like wildfire. No sanitation, no antibiotics, just a bunch of sick people packed into mud houses. It may have been the start of civilization, but for your health and happiness, farming was a downgrade. The 13th century. You're in a city, behind stone walls, thinking you're safe. Then a dust cloud appears on the horizon. It's the Mongols, and you have about 3 minutes to panic. Led by Genghis Khan, the Mongol army wasn't just powerful, it was terrifyingly efficient. They invented mobile warfare centuries before tanks. Horse archers could shoot you from 300 yards, while galloping. Cities were flattened, populations were slaughtered. Survivors were sometimes used as human shields in the next battle. Historians estimate that the Mongol invasions killed over 10% of the world's population, in an era where the world population was already small. Your chances of surviving? Slim. Your chances of surviving and keeping your home, family, and teeth? Non-existent. The Mongols didn't knock. They kicked down the door and burned the house. 1347 AD. Europe receives an unwanted delivery from Central Asia, the Black Death. Spread by fleas on rats, this plague wiped out between 30 to 60% of the population in just a few years. You'd get a fever, vomit blood, then wake up with giant black lumps under your skin, and then game over. There was no cure, no hospitals, just mass graves and people ringing bells shouting, "Bring out your dead!" Entire towns disappeared, markets collapsed, churches emptied, families vanished, and the doctors? They wore creepy bird masks stuffed with herbs because they thought smelling flowers could stop the disease. That's right. Science was still on vacation. Survival wasn't just a gamble. It was pure chaos. One wrong cough and you were history. Literally. So if you're alive today, congrats. You've already beaten the odds. Because your ancestors? They survived volcanic winters, flesh-eating diseases, brutal invasions, and the world's worst diet. They endured, adapted, and somehow made it through history's deadliest checkpoints. Also, you could sit on your couch, watch videos, and debate whether oat milk or almond milk is better. The truth is, you come from survivors. Bloody, brave, unlucky, but somehow lucky survivors. So next time your coffee's cold, your Zoom call crashes, or your phone battery dies at 8%, take a moment to be grateful you weren't born in the year 1347. And while you're here, subscribe before natural selection gets bored. If you enjoyed barely surviving this video, hit that like button before a mammoth tramples it. Smash subscribe like you're escaping a Mongol invasion. And if you want me to dive into other ridiculous moments in history, drop a comment below. Plague, volcano, or Viking raid, I take requests. Let's suffer historically, together.